Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to Paranormal Connections radio show. Well, as you see, it is already going to start out that we are going to have a very, very fun time.
Oh, so
George,
are we live already?
yeah, we're live. It's okay.
Your makeup will have to do.
Okay.
Make us fine. George, are you ready too? You're a little behind schedule too. I see you're putting your makeup on as
Yeah,
well.
you know what? I want to make sure. I just signed a contract with Maybelline, so I just want to know that let everybody know that I use Maybelline 4 on my cheeks, Maybelline 2 on my nose, and my lips are the rosy Maybelline with just a little bit of vinegar. We're in.
You know,
I'm probably going to
before
get all kinds of hate mail from Maybelline at this point because you screwed that up so
I
badly.
have no idea.
I was getting, makeup tips from George, and it was pretty enlightening.
You
They spent 2 hours talking about makeup today.
that's all
Yeah.
we could. Yeah, that's all we wanted to talk about. I've been accused of wearing makeup.
Well, I was
You
gonna
know what?
say I was gonna say maybe like like a spray tan. Like I could see you going secretly to like getting your spray tan on.
I could
No,
see
not
that.
me.
Right, right.
No,
I could see that.
you know what? I'll beg not to talk like now. But
Well,
you know
you're
what?
stuttering, so that says a lot right there, George. Right?
No, I work
It's
outside.
okay.
I work outside every day. Every day I'm outside.
It's okay if you spray tan.
I
It's
don't
okay.
spray tan. You know what? I look at my toes.
He's not
Look at my
orange
toes.
enough.
Yeah, it's not. Look at my fingers. Come on. Can we talk about paranormal already?
Absolutely. Hey, you guys are the one that started it all off. I mean, I was planning on having a very serious conversation, which is very hard just for you and I. And then, we have our guest tonight. And as soon as I got together to do the audio and video check with Bill earlier, and the first thing he
Yeah.
said was, he needed to make sure he got some makeup tips from you before the show. I
Whatever.
already knew what road this was going to go down tonight. So I
You know what?
apologize to everybody in advance. Actually, well, George, you're starting to find out. It seems like
Uh-huh.
the stranger the shows, the funnier they are, the
Um,
more they love us. So,
Look, and I'll tell you what, we're not going to get a word in. It's going to turn into their show. What's going to happen is these two are so phenomenal that you know what? As soon as we let them start talking, guess what? You might as well put in a TV dinner because he's not going to stop. He just blah 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 blah.
I'll
Just
just
talk
move
about
over
anything.
here.
well, they actually just finished their show, so
Yeah.
they've been doing the
They
show.
did.
So uh, they were nice enough to join us tonight right afterwards. So this is a long night, but hey, for those of us who can talk, this is the reason we have the shows that we do. It's perfect for us. So I want to welcome you both. And we tonight, let me grab your guys' bio because I just have to do some justice to you. I was reading the bios tonight, and uh, Bill, I know you and I have been friends on Facebook for a long time. It's always strange to me when it's like the first time I've had somebody on the show that I've been friends with for a long time. But when I was reading your bios.
Crazy, right? Crazy.
Oh my goodness. I
Abs-
was just like, what in the world? Like this is going to be great. So a lot of people already know our guest tonight, but for those who don't,
ha!
we,
What
we
rock have you been living under? Come on.
exactly. We have Bill and Chris Reap, and they are actually the founders of Reap Investigations. And between the two of
Really?
them, they have 50 years experience.
Well,
So,
she's only wait a second. She's only 18 years old. I don't know about this cat.
Aw.
Well, you know what I'm
oh,
saying?
well, I didn't say what the split was, so I
Right.
wasn't trying to say that Bill's old or anything, but
Oh God, no.
maybe the majority of those are towards him. I don't know.
No.
I'm
His
just gonna
first,
say,
his very first EVPs were tapped out on stone by a little bird.
there you go.
Wait a
See,
sec. Is that when Fred Flintstone had his own paranormal show? I'm just trying to figure that one out.
Yes.
Yes.
You know they
Yes.
had.
that was it.
You
You
know they.
recognize him.
I do because that's when and then Scooby Doo came out. before they took away from Dino Boo. You know, it just kept on going. So I want to know what they did back in that time with Fred Flintstone and Wilma, how they really got it together with the EVPs.
Oh my goodness, you are
There was a little
killing me.
bird.
Wait.
Little bird, a lot of stone tablets.
You know I love you. I love.
Well,
We love
again, so
you.
they have about 50 years between the
Yep.
two of them. I mean, it just that right there again says a lot. They've had the opportunity to work with so many people in the paranormal field, and a lot of people who are well known, and also with a lot of people who aren't well known but that
Yep.
they've investigated with. I mean, it's been across the board. So again, the longer that you're in this field, the more that you want to work and you're willing to work with other teams, the possibilities are endless. And our guests tonight are proof of that. So they've done all kinds of things. um,
Mish.
Chris is actually something that was interesting. So I know that you guys both work a lot with like spiritualists and psychics, but Chris, you're also a practicing witch and an ordained minister. And I got some feedback, and people were asking me, oh, that's an interesting combination.
Yes.
But it definitely piqued a lot of people's interest. So I think they'll be here tonight. And you're also the owner of the Silver Broomstick Metaphysical Shop and Spiritual Center. So,
Yes.
boy, you guys are busy. I know you do like a lot of historical locations, also do a lot of private cases as well. And
Yep.
some of those that seem to be more on the darker side, people that really, truly are in need. Not that other people aren't, but I mean, kind of drawn to those that are a darker in nature, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Will
Well,
you say hello
welcome.
to everybody who's saying hello? Hi, Michelle. Hi, Cheryl.
Hello.
Hi, Rhonda.
Mish, I love you.
Hey, guys.
Oh
Welcome
God, here
everybody
Uh,
to
we
the show.
go. Here we
Kelly
go.
said, "Hey, Christina and George." Kelly, if you look behind the couch, George left you a present. It's a new REM pod. And if it's not there, just order one today. He'll give you his credit card.
Done.
Done.
Whatever. God, I love.
All right. Well, welcome
This.
everybody. And welcome to both of you as well. I mean, thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us tonight. I appreciate you
That
being
was a
here.
hell of an introduction.
Hey, well, that's one hell of a, resume you have there, I have to say. And not only that, but you were both in the correctional officers as well. I mean, like, my goodness, is there anything you haven't done?
Mm-mm.
Look at
Nope.
Joy's trying to think. He's like, well, yeah,
Oh,
nope, I did that.
wait.
Nope, you
Wait.
did
No.
that.
Nope. Can't think of anything.
Nope.
Second thought, nope, did that already.
I've been
Wow,
there,
you
done that.
guys are definitely interesting. Well, again, for those who might not know anything about you other than what I just was talking about, kind of give our listeners a little bit of background on both of you, actually, on what got you into the paranormal.
Ghosts. No.
Well, that would be a good reason.
um, a longing for answers of what happens after death. What is there? Is it just you die and that's it? You go into the earth and you're done, or is there more to it? And can we? I lots of people say I don't believe in ghosts, and in the same breath they'll say, "Oh, my mother's with me. She's always with me."
Right.
That's spirit. So how can you not? And if so many people are feeling spirit around them, then what happens after death? Is there more to it? Can we come back and communicate with our families? Can we haunt those that who pissed us off in life? What is what is there after death? Is it really the end? And I don't believe that. I believe our souls, our conscious is more than just our bodies. Our
Well,
bodies change over time. You know,
Right.
we move from one to the next, or we go on and be guides, or we, haunt people. Bill's gonna come back
That'll
and
be
do
me.
EVPs for me. So
Yeah. Well, just
I've
like
already got my ticket.
now, I know you two have been doing this forever, and I have the highest respect for both of you. We can have fun and joke around, but on a serious note, you guys are amazing at what you do. And I think the deeper I
thank
get into
you.
this, you're welcome. The deeper I get into this paranormal, I've only been in it for 7 years, but the more I get into it, the more I love it and crave it. And then at the same time, the more I have like more ideas what happens after we live here. My true opinion is I feel that we keep living. I truly feel that we just we pass on, but we still are living. And that's where I feel like you're able to see spirits, or you see black masses, or you see paranormal. I truly feel that you just don't die, get buried 6 feet under, and that's it, game over. I truly feel that
Absolutely.
I truly feel that we still walk the planet. I think and it's just a matter of, I still think that there's hundreds of thousands of spirits or paranormal walking in front of us today. It's just the fact that we have to train our minds to see what we see when the paranormal. I think we all can see paranormal every day, but we're always
Well,
so much
science states, I mean, we're energy. Energy cannot be
right,
created nor destroyed. So energy goes on and on and on. So
right,
therefore, your theory can scientifically be proven
hmm
that if we are energy, then we cannot be destroyed. But
right,
to prove that energy is, Aunt Mabel
right,
is where we're in looking for answers.
right,
I got involved in the paranormal. When I was in high school, there was a well-known case in the area, and I grew up on a time where you read the books. Scholastic Book Club. Was all about the paranormal and about UFOs and Bigfoot and all of that stuff. And I was like, this stuff is amazing. Couldn't get enough of it. And then when something happened, that made all of the newspapers in the area, and then
right,
you had Ed and Lorraine Warren come in to investigate it. It was like, this is really, this is fascinating. And one of my friends in high school lived next door to the house that was haunted. So we were hanging out there trying to catch something. We're out there with our 110 cameras, and those big ass flash cubes, taking pictures, and a Radio Shack cassette player. Okay, a deck, cassette player, and a
That's really
microphone.
telling our age. That's
You know,
so bad about it.
Would
but
you you said
and we were trying.
Radio Shack? Radio Shack?
Yes,
Yeah,
Is that
Radio
what?
Shack.
yes, Radio Shack.
What is it? I don't even know what that is. What's Radio Shack?
You're
Don't
funny,
don't act
George.
like you don't know. Don't
You're
act like
funny,
you're the
George.
baby.
You know what? I'm an old fart. I'm in my 50s. Of course I know what Radio Shack is. Come
Yeah,
on.
no, and so it was a lot, and that's what got me into it, and had some experiences throughout my life that I was like, there's got to be something more, and
Right.
just kept delving, kept looking, and it's been a wild ride, and I've met some incredible people, got to work with some really incredible people, and we've got to help a lot of people.
Right.
And everybody gets into the paranormal for one of two reasons. It's either they want a TV show or they want to help people, and
Why can't we do both?
you could do both, I guess,
Yeah, but you
but you
know
got to
what?
have fun and you got to be you.
Yeah, but when you say both, my true opinion, as soon as you start getting that TV thing, I think you get lost in what you're really here for. Because then the networks will take over and you're not really being able to do what you really want to do. That's my assumption. I would only
But
assume.
if you're in this for the right reasons, things will be great for you, and you got to keep doing what you're doing, and
Be true to yourself.
be true to yourself,
Yeah.
and just keep doing what you do.
And as our dear sweet friend Mish would always say, don't be a shitty person.
Yep, don't be a shitty person. And
Yeah.
you got to be positive, and power unity.
See, George.
It's a fairy tale. It's
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
okay, so every day I wake up, you all know what I do when I get up, and this is not about me. This is about you two tonight. But my thing is, I admit it's probably way not going to happen. Paranormal unity is not going to happen. But if we can just get a few people out of 10 people to join us, if we get 2 people,
exactly,
I'm
That's all.
happy.
That's all we need.
The whole thing is we need to be able to share our ideas and be able to do so openly. I mean,
Yep.
see, George really doesn't like me, and that's fine. But I still talk to him.
That is such bullshit. That is such,
It's
you know.
I don't like them, and I put them with them.
I'm gonna. Right now, there's probably 300,000 people listening right now, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't like you. I can't grow facial hair. I can't do it. If I
He's
do
jealous.
it, if I'm jealous, I want to do this, and I can't.
I can
do
braid
it.
this shit.
It looks good. I do it, and
I'll
I
tell
look
you-
like. Oh wait, I look like this 5-foot Oompa Loompa that has a beard, and it's. Not, I can't do
It's
it.
because of that spray tan.
Yeah, it's the spray
We
tan.
need to stick his hair up, and he'll look like one of
I'm
those.
calling Kara.
wait,
She's getting you a striped
wait.
shirt and overalls.
See what I'm saying? This show's over. Check, please.
Hey, don't it was funny. Like Brian Cano, before he, just before he stopped what he was doing his Tuesday nights Bryce.
Yeah.
I was on with him, and we talked about his hair and my beard. That's what we talked about. We didn't talk about the paranormal.
No, I mean, but all you guys in paranormal, it seems like everybody has facial hair. Everybody has a freaking beard. I mean, there's not. I love it. It is what it is. I don't know where this is
Wait a
going.
minute. Christina is in the paranormal.
No.
Chris is in the paranormal.
not have
Neither one
a
of them
beard.
have facial hair.
I had
Wait.
wax.
So what are you saying, George?
No, I'm saying the men. Most of Ellie's guys.
No, you didn't say the men. You said everybody in the paranormal. Broad stroke. See, this is why there can't be para-unity.
I'm such an asshole. You know what? My positive energy is taking a shit right now. It's over.
We're taking you to the dark side.
No, but anyways, but I do understand the three of you. You're above me, and I'm tickling you. Yes, but you know what? I don't think there is such a thing as paranormal unity. All we can do is get along who we can get along with, and just go with it, and just see what happens.
Well,
You
like
know?
Bill said, we need to learn to share ideas
Yeah.
and evidence so that we can all learn. Hopefully, everyone who's in this field, now, that realistically, not everyone, but hopefully those who are in the field are all trying to find answers and move forward and make this not a pseudoscience, but make it a true science and be taken seriously by the
Right.
community around us. And the only way to do that is for everyone to grow the fuck up
Yep.
and stop acting like children with a lollipop
Right.
and going, it's mine, it's mine.
Well-
you know what? You have evidence.
Right.
You have a new technique, share it, because then we can all learn from it. Whether
And
you disagree on life in general or not,
Right.
share what can move the field forward.
And it doesn't
Absolutely.
matter whether you've been in the field for,
A day,
a day,
Yep.
a year,
a
Right.
year, or 20
Yep.
years, 30 years. You learn something
Right.
new from everybody.
absolutely.
Well, that's
We
just-
just came back. We just came back from Ferry Plantation in Virginia. Phenomenal place.
Ugh.
First night we did it, Friday the 13th, we had a group that was, that I was with. We went off in our own little groups, and we were in a section, and there was a mom, her daughter, and her daughter's friend that were all there. Okay.
Right.
And it was kind of really interesting because, some things happened, and, we were doing a ITC session, clearly got my name, clearly got Chris. Now I asked, meaning, is this Chris? Because I didn't know anybody in my group. And here, one of the guys there was named Chris. Another gentleman was over by where our camera guy was, and he was getting tugged for us to go up. And you go upstairs. And he was getting tugged right near the stairs. So, of course, we went upstairs.
Right.
Got some great interaction. We got things that were very militarized. It wasn't until last week when we were doing our radio show, and we had Heather Moore on from Ferry Plantation, and one of the participants, it was the mom who called in, and she, brand new to the paranormal, never did it. Wanted to see what it was all about, and was very nice about the way that we helped and let them use our equipment and to talk and teach and walk through. And I said, what was the most memorable part of that evening? And she said, the slave tags. Now, I didn't even catch the slave tags in there. I was like into, the ITC side of things. And then I sat and I was like, huh, interesting. You just taught me something. She goes, what do you mean? I said, I'm ex-military. The guy Chris was ex-military, and the guy who got tugged was stationed in Norfolk. We all wore dog tags. Okay, that was the slave quarters. All right, so that could be the reason we were getting tugged. Who knows?
Right.
It's interesting. We don't know, but these are the answers. And if we don't, now there's somebody brand new.
Yep.
First time out of the box.
Yep.
Fresh eyes. I mean, we have to listen. We have to talk to each other.
And
right.
not just the adults. We need to listen to the kids who are coming into the field, because Brennan, the director at Fairy Plantation, his daughter is 9.
No, she was 11.
11?
Yeah.
And this girl blew my mind. We were talking to the adults, and when we do a group investigation, we don't just say, here's some equipment, go play. We say, this is a K2 meter. This is what it does. This is how it works. And then we explain, we go through the equipment like that. Or we'll say, does someone know what this is? And Isabella, her name, I know what that is. It does this, and it measures this, and it does that.
And that's awesome.
And this is an 11-year-old girl who knows her shit, and she's going to be an up and coming in the field.
That's awesome.
And Bill has promised all his EVPs to her when he dies. So.
Yep.
Wow.
And we're going to shut up now so Christine could actually host her show.
Christine, yeah.
No, I'm just putting up the comments and stuff from the chat room. So it's
hi, Gina Marie. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, everybody. Yep.
Hello, everyone.
You know what you guys said about new people, let's say green or whatever. I actually enjoy that now. I would rather work with somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, because they're our next generation. They're the ones
great.
with
You can work with me.
Oh, shush. But they're the ones with the fresh ideas. They have ideas that we haven't even, and that's what we need, is some new people that are like, hey, why don't we try this? Instead of just going like, all I do is, and I'm guilty of it, of old school. All I do is old school investigations. But I want to go like this next. We'll talk about this later. Next year, we're going to be able to work with some kids next year. We'll talk about that later. And I'm looking forward to that, to let them know that it all starts with your attitude, being a good person inside and your heart. Don't worry about anything else, but go out and investigate. Anything that you do to investigate is not a bad idea. There's absolutely no bad ideas, because that one idea might be the right idea. We might get that answer that we've all been trying for 20 years. So I like working with people that don't know, because we're all students. Every location we go to is a new location, and that's a new investigation. So it's a new class.
Every investigator does something different than the next.
Exactly.
And that's what you need to do. You need to, all right, granted, not everybody's going to get along, okay? But we're adults. We're adults.
Right.
Or we should,
well, I'm not tall enough to be an adult, but I'll say I'm an adult.
Chronologically, you're an adult. Okay? Vertically, you're an infant.
I love you. I do.
Stand up. Oh, you are.
I am standing up. Come on. When I go into any restaurant, they give me a booster chair. They go, sir, would you like a booster chair? I'm like, no, man.
Hey, I ask for crayons all the time. I ask for crayons. I want the kids menu. I want to color while I'm sitting there.
I want to drink. It's like just its maturity.
Yes.
I mean, I'll go to McDonald's and I order my Happy Meal, and they always question me.
It depends on what the toy is.
That is true. You watch it. One day it's gonna be like ghost gadgets. Watch, there'll be ghost gadgets in like one of the things.
So.
Yeah, me too.
And like George's face on the side of the box.
Whatever.
But we need to. We need to talk.
Michelle's saying. Michelle says no method is a wrong method, and exactly. I have to agree. I think that everybody has their way of doing things, and that may be what works best for them. But I always say as well, because I too enjoy, working with other people and seeing how they investigate, because even though it's something you may not do, you may, experience and say, oh, I think I might want to start using that technique, or using that piece of equipment. So again, I think that's you're absolutely right when it comes to that. Michelle, she says just the ice cream man is coming.
Well, hey Bill,
uh,
let me ask you guys a question
oh,
real quick. Do you guys refuse? Like, do you guys have where you go to investigations that you actually refuse if you know someone's going to investigate? Have you ever refused not to go investigate because you know it's going to turn into something like, like egos or whatever it may be? Have you ever done that?
No.
No. Huh. There's certain people I won't
I-
investigate with. I just there's certain
Well,
people.
I look at it this way. Even we could learn from everybody. We could, first, we got to get off this social media bullshit. Number one, where we have our little turf wars. This is mine. No, this is mine. No.
Yep.
Oh, look at my blinky light's better than your blinky light. Oh,
Yep.
I 100% agree.
You can't do that. So,
Right.
like, if hypothetically, if you and I did not get along, and you showed up at a public investigation and I was there,
Right.
I'm not going to walk out. I'm going to be like, "Yo, George, what's up?
Right.
Show me how you do it. I want to learn from you."
See, you're definitely on my bucket list, you and your wife, because I want to investigate with you. I want to freaking investigate with you so bad. You're just
So come
well, we're going to.
So come invest. We are in June.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. Go ahead, Christine.
Cheryl Lynn says, and each location is different, so you have to
Right.
try different methods each time. And absolutely right. And not only is each location different, but each location, each night is different.
Right.
Now, you may go one night and have all kinds of shit happen, and the next night nothing happens. And one night a REM pod works, and another night a feather in a jar works.
Right.
So it varies night to night, day to day.
Well, it's just like I
and
can always compare it to
location
fishing.
location.
I compare it to something that's so ridiculous, and I apologize for even doing it like this one, but I compare it to fishing. There's good days of fishing.
Absolutely.
That's it. I'm done. Fishing isn't ridiculous.
No,
I'm done.
I love fishing. I love it. No, but you know what?
I'm out of here too. What the hell is he
All right.
talking about?
Well, I don't want to know what.
Okay, George. Damn, everyone left. All right, so this is the Chris Reap show. I finally get to say what's been on my mind.
Oh, never mind. I'm back.
All right, good. I'm back. No, but it's just
Give me a fucking drink.
it is just like fishing. You have to use different lures or different equipment. Every night's different. Oh, this is good. What, is it 8:00 yet?
No, it's not.
It's 9:30.
Oh my God, that's right. You guys are ahead.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my God.
9:30.
But it is like fishing. You got to use different
And I'm
lures.
old.
You're not old. You're not old. You look great. You have a beautiful white nest next to you.
Hey, sexy.
And I'm 70.
72.
72.
Yeah.
Shit, I need to get a.
How do you do a feather in a jar? Gina Marie, if you hit me up on Facebook, I'll send you photos. I'll show you how to build one for yourself. It's an absolute phenomenal way to investigate with.
And it's only about $500 in parts.
Yeah, $500 in parts. You got to buy a bunch of chickens.
I'll sell you some.
No, really, it's a great method. It's awesome, and a good friend of mine in the UK was doing it, and he and I had a long conversation about it, and I started using it, and I was like, this is something, I've used bells and candles and compasses and talcum powder and cat balls and feather in a jar. Why the hell not? And
Why not?
And I've
Right.
had some. No, because when you really think about it, the feather in the jar. Okay, if I had a jar, I would show you. Here's the jar. Okay, we place the feather in the jar. Okay, seal the jar. Okay, the jar is on cotton string attached to the roof of the the feather is attached to the lid of the jar, and dangling inside the jar, it's now sealed, and you set that on the floor. Okay, if we had movement or wind, it is not going to move that feather in the jar. But if we could use that as a form of communication. If we see it moving, we're now getting that this is something that is not normal. So therefore it is paranormal.
I have
So,
never heard that. That is
simple.
awesome. I've never ever heard about the feather in the jar. That is amazing.
Oh,
What a
it's
great
fucking
idea.
cool.
That's a great idea.
Interesting. Rhonda is saying, tell us one of your scariest experiences, please.
Oh,
Okay.
well, for me, that's easy. It was back in 2013, going into 2014. It was, I think, November of 2013. And
Private
I had
case.
to go for surgery, heart surgery. And I was basically supposed to sit at home and watch TV. Yeah, okay. And so we went to a private residence where there were a couple kids in the house, some animals, and the one boy who was about 8 years old was setting fire to his brother's bed and other fires in the house. And I don't use the demonic word very lightly because I don't believe that everything is demonic, and it's very rare. But this was a case of demonic energy, and we were trying to call this spirit out and clear this house of it. And Bill was calling it and got a false name, but a first, middle, and last name. And I called it out like a mother would to their child. First, middle, and last name. You answer me now. And all of a sudden, I got this blast of energy hit me. And I stood up to go outside, and my head was tingling. I was dizzy. It hit me square in the chest. And I sat down for a minute, got myself outside, grounded. And now I don't run from any paranormal experience. I'm like, oh, dark, creepy hole? Yeah, let's go. This time I came back in after grounding and getting myself back together. And he said, you're not going back up there. I said, no, I'm going to watch monitors now. So for me, that was the scariest. And it just shows that spirit, malevolent, evil, demonic energy will go for your weakest point. And at that point in time, it was my heart. And that's where I got blasted. And thankfully, everything was okay. And I had my surgery later, and all is good. And I'm still alive today. So
Okay.
Thank God.
Absolutely.
Mine was recent.
I smacked him upside the head and threw him down the steps. And oh wait,
Pretended like you were possessed.
Mine was recent, and it was out of complacency.
Yes.
And when you're doing this a long time, you kind of get a little complacent. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we were at the Hinsdale House in New York. Phenomenal location. Daniel does a wonderful job there. Phenomenal location. We spent a couple days there. We were upstairs. We did a session. Came downstairs. We were doing a session. And upstairs, I was getting this pushing kind of thing on me. And I kind of blew it off. Okay, I've been touched. Mish is in here. I got touched in the basement when I was with Mish and Chris and Tina
I gave
at
him
the
a
Bel
doll.
Air house. And yeah, they gave me the doll and said, here, show us where the ghost touched you. And we went to... But at the Bel Air house, we were there the first day was Hinsdale House. Hinsdale House was very, very quiet. We had activity, but it was nothing like everybody saying, "Oh, wait, this place is bad." Oh, and I'm like, "Yeah, this place is nothing." So
Yeah,
I was like,
we were unimpressed.
I was like, okay, there's activity here, but this isn't how it was explained. Well, day 2, pushed, touched. Okay, felt a little heavy. Went downstairs. We're doing a session, and I got sick to my stomach. I smelled death. I smelled it. Nobody else did. I smelled it. I mean, I was like getting sick. This thing was pushing me hard to leave the building, and it didn't want me in there. And I went out. I left. It was the first time I've ever tapped out on an investigation ever in my life, and I was like, "That's it. I'm out." I I didn't like what I was feeling. If there's video, my color changed, my face changed, and went out, and that was the end of it. I was like, okay, I'm
Why
good.
do you
And
think that maybe
plans.
it targeted you?
Well, they did a session while they were what?
It's my fault.
That was
Oh,
part of it.
she's like, I already know it's me. It was me. Okay, go ahead. Let's hear this.
Go ahead.
we were we were sitting doing a session upstairs outside of Mary's room, and I kind of got moved to do a pendulum session, but I didn't have my pendulum upstairs with me, and so I can pretty much do a pendulum session with anything. So I asked Bill. He wears a Native American medicine wheel out of kaolinite, and it's a very strong, powerful protection stone. And there's a lot of Native American energy on those grounds. So I said to him, I said, "Hey, let me have your medicine wheel, and I'll use it as a pendulum." And he kind of hemmed and hawed, and I was like, "Look, mine's downstairs. I don't want to break up the session. Just give me your wheel, and I'll do a pendulum session." And that's when he started getting attacked. So
Yeah, and then it got worse when we went downstairs, and I actually went live afterwards when I came in, and I said, this is the thing. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. I got complacent. I got schooled. I mean, I text Dan Cleese. I'm like, Danny, I got schooled, mother. This place freaking rocks. All right. He goes, I told you it was going to turn on you. I told you it was going to turn on you.
It was a reminder.
And it was a reminder for me. Don't become complacent. Always be safe. I'm always looking out for everybody else to be safe. And
that's in our nature.
And it's just not. To me, I'm like, I'm always good. I'm good, and I got schooled. And they had done a session, and Tina said that they wanted to take out who they perceived was the strongest in the room at the time.
Which
and that's why I got taken out.
would be you, right? I mean, and it's interesting that how that happens, because each one of us here has had an experience at one time or another where we've been attacked. And I think even the most seasoned investigator, and I think that's exactly what you said, Bill, they get so complacent in doing things. I ask people all the time, don't you think that that's dangerous what you're doing when you're provoking and you're doing these things? And they say, oh, well, I've been doing it all these years and nothing's happened. Or
see, I'll never provoke a spirit. I'll never provoke a spirit, because I think spirits need to be talked to like people, because they were people.
I disagree. I believe there are times that provoking is okay, not necessarily provoking, but stern, firm, like you would talk to a child who's being unruly. But sometimes you need to, but you also have to be non-complacent and be aware of what's around you and who's around you. Because, I mean, one night it may be the same group you've always been with, and another night someone new comes in, and the energies change when that happens. The whole dynamic shifts. So we have to remember that, okay, yes, we've been doing this together for a while, but now here's Joe Schmo coming in, and now the energy is different. So we need to be constantly aware of that. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Well, and again, I think that once you have an experience like that, it forever changes you. And I think that it makes you pay attention again like you used to when you first started out, when you were much more careful. And again, we've been doing it for so long, and we're like, oh, we feel like, okay, through time we've become very experienced, which we have. But that doesn't mean that, we are prepared for every situation that we may encounter. Just because everything has been good up to one point, it's when you get hit with something like that that it makes you like, okay, we need to
Right.
rethink this and be better prepared because we know better. You know, at least that was
Absolutely.
in my situation. I was sick and I just came out of the hospital. I knew better, but I had a contract for an event, so I'm like, I have to complete it. I got to be there, and I knew better. And this thing that was there told me not to go down there, and I did anyway because everybody wanted to go and investigate down in the damn basement. And I
Right.
ended up literally being picked up off the ground, levitated a few feet, and then thrown across the floor in front of like
Wow.
15 people. So
Wow.
I mean, it definitely once it gets you, and once I woke up, I was like, oh man, I shook. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, not much scares me, but that I was like, okay, I need to rethink, regroup for a minute because this was not okay. I definitely should have known better, but still did it.
I think we all have,
Yeah.
like, there's one place that we all have that we're afraid of, if you can use the word afraid. Like, I investigated with Michelle. We went to the Amador Courthouse in Jackson, California. Full on, she was right there to protect me, but a full on, oh man, I was attacked inside the jail cell. And if it wasn't for Michelle,
Right.
I would have been up shit creek. And you know what? It was one of those situations where I'm still sketchy to go back. I go back in a few months, but it's still a scary place. That's one place I am not happy about going, but I'm gonna go because I have
Right.
to. I want to go, but
We
I'm
have
also,
to face fears.
you have to. But if it, I will
Yeah,
say,
you have to because otherwise it wins, George. That's like
yep,
even with mine. I felt like after it was, I mean, it was very scary while it happened, and it had me rethinking everything. But afterwards, the first thing I said is, "Oh, I want to go back to this place because I felt like I needed almost like a rematch." I'm like, how how dare you do
yeah.
this to me? And look at how it left. I think
But
going in and just being more prepared is what you
well,
need.
well, that's
You know,
exactly. Well, that's what I meant earlier when I said I want to investigate with certain people. To me to go back to Amador Courthouse in a couple of months, I wish that Michelle was there right by my side. She from I had a full on attachment that was video or on film or whatever. And I if it wasn't for Michelle and my wife, I would have. I don't know what would have happened. I still can't watch that video to this day because each time I watch it, I got to turn it off because it was not me. And Michelle knows what she's doing. And I know people don't like using, oh, you're a professional, this. There's no professional paranormal investigator, but I trust her. That's the difference. I
Right.
trust Michelle. I trust
And
her.
Michelle's extremely talented and very gifted.
Yep. Yep.
And she's got an energy that's a protector.
Yeah.
She's got a wolf inside her that will come out
Agreed.
and protect when
Agreed.
necessary. And she's a good person to have your six.
Yep. I
And
fully.
that's important. You have to be with people that I agree, and I know where you're going when you talked about not being with people. Not want to be with certain people because you want certain energy, around you.
Right.
You want to make sure that somebody's going to have your six, and
Right.
you know, but still, we need to be able to go be able to go to these places, public investigations, whatever, and be among those people who maybe don't like you or whatever. The way I look at it is, if they don't like me, the problem isn't with me. The problem is with them.
Exactly.
There's something that they
How
don't
can they?
like
Well, it's
about
like the four of
themselves
us
or
right
whatever.
now. There's the four of us right now. We are such. I feel that we're all good people. There's no reason to dislike any of us, no matter what. We bring on positive energy every single day. We don't discriminate towards anybody. And if you don't like me, then it's your issue, not mine. Because as for me, just for me,
Right.
as for let's say Michelle or Christina or you two, we're all great people. There's no reason why to dislike us, other than being that stupid
Right.
J word, and I hate that word.
but
Ego.
So,
that's
no.
the thing though, is there it's not that they have a real dislike for us because nobody gets to know us. The people who do get to
Right.
know us say, wow, this is an awesome person.
Right.
But so for the other people, it's like, they don't like us for whatever reason, but
Yeah.
again, that's them,
That's
that's
their
on them.
loss.
We just do, that's, I always say, what somebody else thinks of me is none of my business, because if I
Exactly.
worry about what everybody thought about me, I would stay stressed the hell out all the time. And
Exactly.
99% of it, that that the stuff that goes around isn't true anyway, so why, it's like, it's a waste of energy. So again,
Yep.
like we were talking about before, do I believe in para-unity on a large scale? Absolutely not. I mean, we can't even as humans get along all together. So we definitely can't expect that, a whole genre of a field of people are going to get along. It's just that's not our human nature. But we can definitely gravitate towards people who are like-minded like us, want to share information, want to educate other people, want to help other people. And I'll tell you, it's been amazing being able to meet so many great people in the field, later on meet them in person, investigate with them, make those connections, because I get people all the time that will reach out to me from other states and say, hey, I've got, something going on and I need a credible team to come help me. Do you know anybody? And it's great when I can say, you know what? Actually, I do. And
Yeah.
you know that you can reach out to those people and that those clients are going to be in good hands.
And we need to do
So,
more of that. We need to do more of that.
absolutely.
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 I want to. Gina is asking about what to do when it comes to your health issues,
Yes.
and physical issues. First of all, Gina, never, 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 never investigate alone. Always have someone with you. Keep a first aid kit with you. Whatever your faith is, use protection
From your faith.
emblem from your faith, because protection is all about focus from the inside and what your intent is. So if you wear a cross, wear a cross. If you use a pentacle, keep one with you. There's crystals, white or clear quartz and black tourmaline, amazing crystals for protection. I always carry them with me. Ground yourself before you go into a location. Don't carry any extra baggage with you, and try and know what you're going into. And if you feel the energy getting intense, get the hell out and ground. Don't sit there and go, it'll be okay, I'm fine. Don't push it. If you have issues with physical or any kind of health issue, don't push it too far.
And you need to go in with a positive mental
Absolutely.
attitude as well, because if you go in with like feeling miserable and anxious, anxiety, depressed, one of two things is going to happen. Either you'll get zero activity. I don't care if you walk into the most off the hook place in the world, you'll get zero activity because you're not in the right mindset, or you'll get activity that you don't want.
Right.
So
Right.
so you got to go in with that right mental attitude, and be in a good state of mind.
And if you're sick and under the weather, don't go.
I was just going to say that.
We recently had a team member. We were out of town. We were on the road, staying at a beautiful location. She got sick as a dog, and she kept saying, I'm fine, I'm going to go. It's like, no, you need to stay here, feel better, relax, take care of yourself. Oh, but I'm letting the team down. No, you're not in any position to be investigating. You're in a weakened state, and it's dangerous to do that. And once, she took some time to think about it, she was like, you know what, you're right. And she stayed home, and it could have gone any number of ways. I mean, it's a location we've been to that we've never felt anything malevolent, but when a weakened state, anything can happen. So,
Well, again, just like I was explaining with my situation, I mean, if I wouldn't have been ill the way that I was, I probably would not have been affected the way I was. But Michelle says as well that it will affect others too, and that's absolutely true. So
It does.
again, if you're not 100%, and I used to feel the same way, because especially I was, the founder, I was the leader of the group, and it was like if I wasn't going, I felt like I was letting the whole team down. But then I had to start rethinking things, and I thought, I've investigated for all these years with all these people. They know what they're doing. I have to trust that, they can do this, and I don't want to put my team at risk because of the fact that I'm not 100%. And again, you can have all kinds of things happen. So I completely agree with that. And so, yeah, so if you've got health issues and you're not feeling real great, you definitely need to stay home. But if you live like with me with a chronic illness, you
Good
just
night,
take
Miss.
days.
Love you.
Love you, Miss.
Yeah, you just take days as they come. If you feel up to doing it, just make sure that you know are really good with as far as grounding and protecting yourself, and you should be good. Michelle says, "Great show, everyone. Got to go. Have a blessed night." Same to you, Mish. Have a good time.
Big hugs, Miss.
Bye, Michelle.
All right.
2 months. See you in 2 months.
Yeah, I read.
So
I read
let's
that.
talk about some of the things that are coming up while I sit and eat my chocolate.
Oh, shit.
Damn, that's
You know,
jacked
at
up.
least when we do the show, no one can see us, and I can't see them eating chocolate.
Right. So like they're sitting there.
Get me
she's like,
chocolate.
I know. Well, you know what? When I used to just do the audio only show, I used to, sneak and I could be eating and nobody would know. And now I thought, why hide it? I'm just gonna do it anyway. I mean, it's okay.
Oh man, that's Kara. I want some chocolate.
I've got a ho ho.
Oh, man. Well, what she was saying earlier, it makes sense. Though, it's like the whole grounding thing. Is I've learned, and this is so cool. Every day I learn something. I always watch you guys. I watch everybody. I'm always learning something. But when I ground myself now, since Goldfield in Nevada, I don't hold people's hands anymore. Now I just ground myself when I pray, and I just don't. Nothing against anybody, but like you said, you don't know who had a really bad day. You don't know if they're carrying any type of anxiety or anger or just maybe depression. And I truly believe that, if you start doing that, you start passing it in a full circle, it can affect everybody. What about you guys?
absolutely.
Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
Well,
I mean, you gotta
especially
be
if you're
there.
empathic
I don't-
too.
You
What's
know,
that?
when you're, I view, if we're positive and we have that good thing going, even our positivity kind of wears off on, rubs off
Absolutely.
on those who are negative.
Yeah.
But, why we don't always want, and like Christine was just saying, somebody who's empathic or sensitive to other people's energies, why do I want to take on that shit?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, great,
Exactly.
Cheryl. I'm glad you have chocolate too.
Yay.
Everybody has chocolate, but me and George.
I don't got shit. Oh,
Yeah.
No, I got
Gina
chocolate.
Marie says, I have a chronic illness and will do. Thank you so much for this. It's wonderful. So, I mean, again, this is why I love doing shows with like minded people because there's always somebody out there that, if they get something, they take away something that has been able to help them on this show, even with all the joking and the silliness that we do. It's absolutely worth it each time. So, I think.
Shenanigans.
What's silliness? No such thing on this show.
Gina
No
Marie,
such
if you have any questions, reach out to us. Anybody on this show,
Absolutely.
and I'll help you out. That's
And we were talking about empathic and taking other people's stuff. And as an empath, it's one of the things I do. And I look at myself sometimes as a garbage man.
Oh, yeah.
People have all this garbage they're carrying around all the time. And as an empath, my automatic reaction is to reach out to people to comfort them and help them get rid of that garbage.
Right.
And a lot of people will say, every time I'm around someone and they're hurting and I reach out and I touch them, I feel awful for days. Well, you need to get rid of that. You're
Right.
taking someone else's energy. Garbage men come around, they collect your garbage. They do not go home with it at the end of the day. They dump it off at the grounds where the garbage goes. So you need to dump that. You need to ground it. Now, I never considered myself a tree hugger until I was outside on a winter day when I couldn't put my bare feet on the ground, and I'm hugging a tree to ground that energy. And I'm like, damn, I've become a tree hugger. But
I'm
we
telling you.
need to ground that energy. And, as empaths do, we take on other people's stuff. And so I do a lot of touching and holding hands. But it's part of how I work and what I do. So.
Right. With empaths, it's very, very important that, we learn to release that energy because we absorb energy from people around us all day long. I mean, that's why it's hard to do events or be in large environments with large amounts of people if you're an empath, because it is chaotic. You really will feel like a schizophrenic because so many things are running through your mind and feelings and emotions that aren't even yours. And you may pass somebody who just got in a fight with their spouse, and you pick that up, and then you turn around and somebody may have just lost a friend. It's crazy. So
Yep.
I mean, yeah, you absorb all that, and if you end up not being able to release that, that's what causes all kinds of manifest into all
Health
kinds of health
issues.
issues for us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, let me run over to my Twitter messages.
She's looking
Um,
up. They got to be there somewhere.
Tony is asking if, and this is from Twitter, he's asking, do you guys have any events coming up in the near future?
Not a one. Nope.
Oh,
Nothing.
this is going to take the next 54 minutes.
Uh,
Well, we
yes,
welcome it. Let's talk about it.
we do. Okay. First thing is
World Ghost Hunting Day.
World Ghost Hunting
well,
Day.
we do have some private stuff that we're doing in between.
Well, yeah, but you know,
But public events.
public events.
Yeah, we have World Ghost Hunting Day,
Yeah.
where we were requested to actually come and lead the investigation at the Lord Baltimore Hotel in
Nice.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah.
Phenomenal history. A lot of things have happened in the place. A lot of paranormal. 19 floors off the hook.
We're gonna have some access to places no one's
that no one's ever
had access to.
That they don't let
Nice.
people in outside of the
Yeah.
staff. And we're going to be doing the basement there. Which, when I talked to them, I said, I'm trying to get location. Where, what do we have? Where can we go? What's our access? Do you have a basement? No, we don't have a basement. And I'm like, how does a building not have a basement?
Right.
And now we have access to that place because it's the
non-basement.
To the non-basement, the basement that doesn't exist. We have access to it.
We have to walk through a portal.
But we're going to be doing. We're going to be
secrets.
working, at the Lord Baltimore Hotel in Baltimore, Maryland, which Amelia Earhart spoke there. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke there. Snoop Dogg has been there, But I mean, this is you have a lot of energy. You have a lot of
objects.
Yeah, they've done everything. 1920s through the Depression. You had a lot. It's so steeped and rich in history, the architecture, everything.
The Sky Bar, where there have been people who have
suicides.
jumped to their death from the Sky Bar.
Yeah, from the rooftop. So.
Wow.
We're excited about that.
To a ballroom. We're going to do a Ghostbuster scene. I'm ordering proton packs.
We're talking about. It's funny you should bring up the Ghostbusters, because now I'm sitting here going, if I just would have listened to the first encounter that they had in Ghostbusters in the first movie in the library, the sweet little old lady putting the books away, telling Bill Murray. And then Mike was like, "Whoa!"
Right.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, so see what happens when you're complacent. That's what you get—the sweet little old lady who turns into crazy.
Okay, so we have that, and then in October. We're going back to the Bel Air house, and if nothing else, if you don't even care about the paranormal, just come out for the off the hook time it's going to be. Because we have a hell of a lineup. Well, we've got us, my amazing sisters, Tina and Marcy, who are part of the group. And we have the Southern Gypsies, who, if you've never met the Southern Gypsies, you're missing out. They are an absolute hoot. They are wild, off the hook.
And
fabulous, crazy.
They're a spiritualist group.
Yes,
and
they are.
When we do a lot of research on the historical locations that we get involved in. And part of the research there was one of the owners of the house, when his wife passed away, turned to the spiritualist movement very, very hard. Actually put in added a seance room into the house.
Oh, wow.
Where he tried to communicate with his dead wife. So bringing the Southern Gypsies in, who are spiritualists, we're going to be running a spiritualist experiment to see if we could use that as a trigger to see what kind of response we get out of it. And then we got some special guests over and above them.
Interesting.
Oh,
Interesting.
I get
You,
to finish.
yeah, you just made that announcement today though, so you can tell us who the guests are. I saw that today. If that's what you're
Yeah,
talking about, it's no
Amy
secret.
Green,
Yeah, Amy Green,
Michelle
Michelle
LeBaron,
LeBaron.
Mish,
Nice.
Or,
Kristen Lee, of course, will be there.
yeah, coming back.
And last time the Southern Gypsies weren't there, but Kristen Lee and Michelle and Amy were, and it was absolutely off the hook crazy. And one of the great things is we add in the Southern Gypsies who are spiritualists. You have Mish, who has an amazing energy and is the ghost magnet. You have Tina Marie, who is a medium. You have myself, who's an empathic medium. You have Amy Green, who's got all kinds of spiritual energy attached to her. We bring in the spiritualist. The property lies on ley lines and sits alongside a river.
All
And
its
the
energy, Jesus.
energy
Oh
is
yeah,
just absolutely
yeah, it's
phenomenal.
crazy.
All kinds of things happen. It's definitely a place that lives up to its reputation.
Plug your phone in, Rhonda.
I know she said her battery's about to is dying.
It's called a cord.
Yeah.
You know?
Thank you. It was great to be here. Thank you for
Thank you,
joining us.
Rhonda.
Absolutely. So, all right, let me get back to. Okay, so you've got the one in October. Anything after that?
There's a couple things that we haven't announced yet, so
They're in
we
the
could talk.
works.
There is something in June of next year.
Yes.
If there's a little something in June of next year.
All right.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
yeah, a little something.
We have been asked to come out to Eureka, Nevada, and we are very excited about that for so many reasons. But we are going to host a day camp for
Teenagers.
paranormal day camp for teenagers, 12 through 17. And we have the entire town of Eureka at our disposal to investigate.
Yeah, Adam Bogart was great, when he contacted us to put that together. And then we get to work alongside, some of our camp counselors. Mish is going to be there, J. Marie Yates, Scott Greenwald. Kara Shoplin's going to be there, and her sidekick, Toto, George. Dave
You know
Miller's
what,
going to...
Dave? You know what? I am the one thing I am looking forward to that though. To be honest, is being able to work with the teenagers, because you know what? Because they have
Yep.
so many. They have that's my biggest. That's gonna be so awesome because those are the ones I worry about, that they're afraid to tell us how they really feel because people will look down on them. They'll be bullied or whatever the word we want to use, and they'll be able to open up to every one of us to just say, "Look, this is what I'm feeling, and I don't want to be looked down upon because I still have to go through high school. I don't want to be the one they don't talk to because I can see things or feel things."
Right.
And they're going to be given an opportunity to be themselves. And
Yeah,
that right there is going to be huge. I can't wait for that.
The really cool thing about it is you have such a broad spectrum of paranormal knowledge that's going to be there, where you could learn the scientific, the forensic side, the spiritual side. They're
going to learn to build stuff. They're going to learn to work with equipment. They're going to learn the do's and don'ts. They're going to learn how to open up or shut down their gifts.
They're the next generation. Yeah. I mean, I don't mean to interrupt
Absolutely.
you, but they're the next generation. If we can somehow, or whomever can just say, look, this is what you do. Be positive. Don't have an ego. Ground yourself. Blah, 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 blah. They're going to do better than all of us. They're going to do better. They may have paranormal unity. They may be the next generation to have it.
Listen and learn.
Right, and I will. I think that it's really important. I mean, I mentored children and teenagers for almost over 10 years that I've been out here, and the one thing that I always notice is when I was able to introduce them to other kids like them, because most of the kids that are interested in the paranormal, it's because they've had their own paranormal experiences.
Exactly.
it's a little bit different now because now they can talk about it, and there's places that to go, and people like us to learn from. There's so many more resources there were when we were going through everything. I know for
Well,
myself.
the paranormal has changed so much over the last 30 years.
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. And being able to, the kids being able to connect, I think is going to be a really good thing. Because again, having other kids around them that are similar
Exactly.
to them, going through the exact same things, is huge. I mean, that was the biggest thing, was they were like, yeah, they get all the education, but having people their own age that
Right.
they could
Exactly.
really connect with was like, wow, it's
Well, you need that pure.
Yep.
absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. I think
And
that's a great idea.
And I'm
Okay.
excited to be able to have a kid who's got gifts, doesn't know what exactly is going on, but is interested and wants to know how to use them, or be able to teach them techniques to protect themselves, to
Absolutely.
grow their gift, and to understand what's going on. I knew there was something. I've always been an empath my entire life. That's my strongest gift. But it wasn't until, it doesn't seem that long ago, that I read an article and I was like, uh huh, oh my God, that's what I am. And I
Right.
Right.
finally had a name to put with it. And then once I started understanding what it is, I was able to focus on that and learn more about it by my own experiences, and come up with different techniques to protect myself, to ground myself.
Yep.
And I wish I had known years ago, so that I wouldn't have stomach issues and crap like that that comes from not knowing what to do with that gift.
Right.
Right.
Christine's
But
opening
this is our way to,
Oh, it's
definitely to
she.
give back.
she's opening another ho ho. I heard it.
Did you
Uh,
open up?
Wait.
Did you
no,
really?
I was just moving it to the side, the paper. You hear the ruffling.
You
You
know
know
what?
what?
You
I'm
said
not gonna
something.
be too much of a ho ho tonight.
I want.
Just stick to one.
Shit. You know, you're absolutely right. What you just said, though, I like what you said because it's true. I look forward to let the kids know, or whomever, how beautiful the gift really is.
Right.
How to just let them know it's beautiful. Don't think you're an outcast. You're not. You're looking at
Exactly.
you're not an outcast, and you know what?
You know,
It's beautiful.
but the people that are going to be there, I mean, Chris and
Oh
I
my
and
God.
Tina and Paul Dixon and
Yeah.
Marcy and
Stephen
Stephen
Ty.
Tighe, you
Yeah.
know, out of our team, and then throw in Marie and Jay Yates, and throw
Yep.
in, Kara and her husband. I can't think of his name, but
Uh,
and Mish and George who's going to be there, and
so
Dave
many
Miller is going to come
people.
out, and Scott Grinwald, and it's really cool because everybody that is involved has such a passion to want
Help.
to pass on the torch and to
Yeah.
help,
Yep.
and it's a big responsibility, and Adam, the is awesome. The town is just so pumped up about this,
Yep.
and it's amazing, and we sit and we look at, wow, we're just blessed on some of the things that we get to do, and when we as a team, and not just Chris and I, Tina, Paul, Marcy,
Yeah.
and Steve, when we look at how there's so much history that's being lost, number one, big education factor there as well, and the paranormal, and and that's what we've been doing, and we've been traveling around the country doing that, saving history through the paranormal, and helping these locations raise money to do upkeep, because so many are not, they may be national, historic locations, but you want to know something, if you're behind on your taxes, they don't give a shit. They want to tear that shit down, put a mall in,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know
Exactly. Well,
and
that's what they're
where
doing.
does that, you know
Well, in Eureka right now, have you guys been to Eureka yet? I don't even know
Not
if
yet.
you ever been. Okay,
no,
so
we have not, but we're probably going to be there before the end of the year.
good
Yes.
because it's beautiful. So what they're doing right now, though, they're actually mining right now. They've opened up the mines again. You got real miners out there. They're stirring up stuff as we speak. They're mining
Absolutely.
all over again, and that to me is what's generating all the energy and all the paranormal and all the whatever you want to think about. But when we investigated with Marie and Jay Yates, we went inside the tunnels, and I'll tell you, we right within 5 minutes, the four of us together got Class A EVPs. I mean, it was Class
Nice.
A clear, and they were mining. So Adam and his wife, they are so lucky and blessed to work to have such that town to live in. I would love to live there. It's beautiful. The people are beautiful, and I can't wait to see you guys there. I really can't. I think it's gonna be just a.
Can't
We
wait to
can't
be
wait
there.
either.
It's gonna be
Yeah, so
fun.
we got a lot. We got a lot of stuff going on, and 2019 is going to be
Mhm.
incredible.
Yeah,
But keep following us. You never know where we're going to be.
that's awesome.
Especially
All right,
starting
Lisa
next
from
spring.
Twitter is asking, what is your number one bucket place you would like to investigate, but you have not investigated yet?
Ooh,
Winchester House.
really? In San Jose?
Mhm. Yeah.
Why?
Wow. Why? Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, the
Is it the history?
See, you got me on the chocolate.
You got her on the chocolate. Now she's like,
The history of the location,
Right.
the story behind what the story behind why there's doorways leading to nowhere,
Right.
and the reports of the activity that's there. The fact that this woman felt like the only way that all the spirits of everyone ever killed with a Winchester was coming to haunt her just fascinates me. And the structure of that property fascinates me. I really want to get in there, and it may not live up to expectation, and that's fine, because I'll just be able to look at
But it doesn't
the
matter. It doesn't matter. It's what you want, though.
right,
Who cares
right,
what other people think? I grew
absolutely,
up. I grew up 1 mile away from that house in San Jose, and I saw it every single day going to the Century Theaters when I was a kid. And I've seen it 1,000 times, and I've only been in it one time. But I would love to go back. But I know it's the Winchester. That's when I said the Winchester Mystery House. It was in my backyard, and
yeah,
I blew it. I can say I blew it because I had such history right there, and I overlooked it.
yep.
So I blew it. So
For
Well,
me,
I'll tell you,
that's number one on my bucket list.
gotcha.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I
growing up
mean,
in
there's a ton of.
California as well, we have that used to be where we went every single year
Right,
for our field trip.
right,
Like I've gone to that place so many times. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful. The story is very interesting. Absolutely never picked up on anything when I've gone there, but just to walk through it, it's a very very cool place for sure.
Yeah.
Now, what
I'm a
about
little
you,
more
Bill? What's a
off
book?
the. I have a couple. Like one that really jumps out at me is the San Fernando Cathedral in San Antonio, Texas.
ooh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a
yeah,
lot of really a lot of history there. There was a lot of bones and things discovered as they were expanding the church and things like that. So that I mean, everybody could go to these, places that everybody has done. I
Mhm.
like to go to the places that not everybody's done.
Me too.
right,
I'd
yeah,
also, on the other end of the spectrum, I'd also like to see the Trans Allegheny Lunatic
Yeah.
Asylum.
So I
Now,
mean,
it's
it's hard to say bucket
it's
list.
kind of a little self. Um, I don't know what I don't know whether it's I don't know sadist, masochist, whatever. I'm not sure which one it is, but being an empath, walking into any place like that, like the Penhurst, or that, picking up on all those different energies and emotions, is it's painful, it's crazy, but it comes through so strong that it's much easier to get impressions of what has occurred, what has happened, and
Right,
kind of let those energies know it's okay, I understand, I feel what you're feeling,
right.
and kind of give some peace to spirit.
Yeah, they get that comforting that they're not alone, that somebody else, is acknowledging that they're there and what they're going through. Oh, look at
Aw.
that.
I
Oh,
love
such
you.
love. All right. Hey,
I
George,
love
somebody's asking, what's on your bucket list?
Anything over the California border. How's that sound? I want to go. I just want to go east because everything they have, I'm jealous
Come
of.
on.
We're on
I'm
his
Come on.
bucket list.
I am so anything over the California line. How's that sound?
Kara,
Anything.
let them come.
I would
Come
go
in
on.
October, Kara.
She's
Hey,
the.
We
we
would.
make it to Eureka
We never. We might.
before the
We
end of
might
the
make
year.
it out there because we're doing all kinds of different locations outside of California for the show this year. But
Come with
unfortunately,
us. Come
yeah,
on.
we definitely could set something up to go out there and do something
Oh,
with
yeah,
you
we'd
for,
love to have
for
you. Come
sure.
on. We'll hook you up.
Yeah, we'll definitely could do something. I know October we definitely can. Like George is going since he's now signed on with the show. Last couple years, I've had to go through the themed haunted houses for Halloween haunted houses that I can't stand,
Well,
and
you
so
could take
everybody.
George. He gets the kids' discount.
Well, even better, I'm going to dress him up, and he's more
Cheers,
afraid of
Susie.
them than I was. So it'll be even
Dress
more
him up as a
entertaining
Oompa
for
Loompa.
the viewers. So he'll be
Cheers,
doing
Susie.
that.
Take them off my hands, please.
Take him off my hands, please.
I
We have
Um, is
we
he
have a different
housebroken,
location
Kara?
every week.
I don't like scary places. I don't
Well,
like
hey,
Halloween shit.
sorry, I
Halloween.
don't know. You can't
I'll invest.
expect to be on a paranormal radio show and then and look. If I had
No.
to do it, George, you gotta do it.
I'll
It's just
go.
how it is.
I'm more scared of the
And
living
please,
than.
Christine, please wear a GoPro. I want to see him
Oh,
cry
it's
like a little
always
girl.
we always videotape it. Yes. See, everybody's laughed at me for the last 2 years. Now it's time for them to change the focus and laugh at George because I think he's going to
Ah,
be much more entertaining than I was. All you saw was the
Ah.
back of me running and me screaming in sheer terror, running from all of the people who were dressed up as dead people and chasing me.
no, I'm serious. You know what? I don't mind paranormal. I'm afraid of the living because they can.
If I have to do it,
Right?
so do you.
I'll,
So
I'll do
it's
whatever you
Yeah,
want.
suck it up, Buttercup.
That's right. If I could do it, you can do it. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's
I'll
time to
go.
time to do
Hey,
it.
you're the boss. You're the
All
boss.
right. As long as we got that understood, we're gonna have some fun. So it'll be a great time. But yeah, definitely would love to get out that way, do some investigating, and a live interview with you guys, and do some stuff like that for sure.
You can have the whole team.
I know, you know. All right, let me look in.
What's he doing? Where's his hand at? I see his hand. Mister,
It's
show your
everywhere.
hands.
Everywhere except where I want it to be. I have a bug bite that I can't reach. Oh, right there.
Oh my goodness.
Dig in deep, boy. Get it. Get it, boy. Get it. Get it.
Sorry.
Oh
We
my
were in the
gosh,
woods
if
for
we
a
just
few
had
days.
the audio, that would have been a whole different
No,
segment
you know
right
what's
there.
funny? He started doing that, and my right leg started shaking. I was like, "What the hell's going on? What's he doing?"
That's what happens when you're the block below.
I'm like, scratch here. And he's like, up here, over here.
Exactly.
It's like, no.
Next question, please.
All right. Wendell from Twitter is asking, have you ever had a what you believe to be a truly demonic case?
Yes,
Yes,
once, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. I mean, it was a private case. We talked about it a little bit earlier in the show, where Chris had an attack, her scariest incident ever in the paranormal. I think that is a word that gets thrown around way too much these days.
I agree.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Demonic possession, oppression is like winning the NFL draft. Okay, it's one in a
Yeah.
million.
Yep.
Everybody runs around and says it because they feel that's
And it makes us look
it's a
ridiculous.
catchphrase. It's a catchphrase anymore.
Yep.
And
Right.
the way I look at it is, okay, look at the movie Ghost. Okay,
Yes.
Patrick Swayze, nice guy, makes pottery. I mean, come on, nice guy. But when he was trying to move that penny, and he
Right.
couldn't do it, and he flipped over the table
Yes.
when he finally did it. Okay, it was because anger, energy, emotion, boom, moved it, explosion. Okay, manifestation. Doesn't mean he was Satan.
That's
You know,
true.
doesn't mean it was demonic.
That is true.
You know, so you have to be careful. But and there's also the theory that anyone who was an asshole in life is probably an asshole in death. So you have that.
Right.
Right.
For
Huh.
everyone running around saying demon, 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 stop it. You're making us look bad.
Okay, let me ask you this: that we're on demon, demon, demon. I don't like the Ouija board. What about you two? Do you guys ever mess with the Ouija board?
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead, you say it.
We have a collection of them.
No, you don't.
Yes, absolutely. Ouija boards are another form of divination.
Yes, but still.
But,
Intent is everything.
Parker Brothers did not sit down and say, let's build a portal to hell for 8-year-olds.
Right.
It is a piece of board with some letters on it.
Let me ask you a
Right.
question. Do you ever use a seer board with the pendulum?
Yes, same thing.
I know you have. Same thing.
Same thing. You're absolutely right.
It's all in how you use it.
It's a mental block. It's media. I mean, it's like, okay, Chris and I are both witches. Okay. All right. I'm not green.
Right.
I'm not female.
You might have a word.
I'm not female. But, people have this, because of the media and, Hollywood and, things are made out to be worse than what they really are. The true story of, the Ouija board was a parlor game. Okay. So Mennonites, Quakers, they used it a lot. In courtship, they can't touch now, can they? But if you sit on the chairs and your knees are touching and the board's on your hand, your fingers on the planchette, that was like going to third base. You know what I'm saying?
Also, people use the board and they will sit down and say, is anybody here? Well, now you've just opened it up for anybody, anything to come through.
Right.
You have to have intent.
It's like anything.
You have to have focus. I had a Ouija board years ago in my late teens, and the only entity I got coming through that was my great-grandfather. And my great-grandfather, Gigi. It was the only thing that ever came through there. No one else.
It's like any piece of equipment that you use, any part of divination, what your intent is, and you need to be educated on how to use it.
And protect
and
yourself.
It's just like anything else. If you don't know how to use it, you don't use it. Okay?
Right.
And I think that's a big part of the problem is that we have, with television now and every scary movie that comes out and every paranormal movie that comes out, they're using a Ouija board and that's how they interact. But you would think that if
Did you
they were
just see?
using-
Wait. Did you just see that?
Yes.
Did you guys see that thing? No, honestly, no bullshit.
I wasn't
look-
looking.
There was something that went behind me that was like a shot. I swear to you, it happened twice. I know it sounds really stupid, but I was just, you guys were talking and there's nobody in here but me. And something went behind me like a shot. That was really freaking weird. I apologize.
Looking.
That was
I'll have
really...
to go back and relook at the video after
But
we
you're
finish the show.
you're absolutely correct, Christine, that people just don't know what they're doing sometimes and they open up, things are worse. But that goes with any equipment.
And movies do make it out to be this demon board. And I'm not afraid of chainsaws. Just because,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
I am. Yeah. I'm not unless there's a clown attached to it chasing me again.
See, I'm
not afraid of the dead. I'm afraid of the freaking living, acting like they're dead, chasing me around with some damn chainsaws and shit.
That's a problem.
The living is the problem.
See, I don't like those big trucks at the farms and this guy driving. His name is Jeeper Creeper guy. I stay away from those trucks.
Exactly.
Well, he knows you personally, George. I mean, he sends me messages to you all the time. He's a big fan of the show. I don't understand why you're just so distant.
You know what? He's a bastard, just like the wasps.
Okay. I'll make sure to let him know so he can come a little visit with you if you hear that diesel.
My back
ready to run.
I'm crazy.
I'm going to find a haunted house this month. Or in December or in October, and I'm going to make sure that they have a Jeeper Creeper guide just for you because I want to have
I
the moment where I actually catch it on film where you pee your pants.
You know
That
what?
would be
Seriously.
the ultimate.
I got the place. Come out to the East Coast. I got the place for you to bring him.
I stay away from corn. I live out here. I live out in the country. I have cornfields all around
See,
us,
Bill,
but I
that's
don't even like
tempting. You
cornfields.
know, that's very tempting right now. I could.
Whatever. But you know what? She's right about the Ouija
No,
board.
Jackie, they are not.
What's that?
Hey, Jackie. Jackie says witches are not bad. No, I
No.
actually know lots of witches that I believe are very
Are you
good
bad?
people.
No.
I'm not bad.
No, you
I
guys are
would give
great.
my shirt.
Right now?
I would give the shirt off my back for someone. Not right now, George. Behave.
Hey, I have taken their shirts off in the middle of the broadcast. That it has been known that it's happened before, so it wouldn't be anything too strange for this show for sure.
Hold on a second.
Take it off.
Just saying, I mean, stranger things have happened.
Take
George
it off.
George, don't start because you were actually supposed to take your shirt off, Mr. Big Shot, and you wimped out on that challenge. So
No, I got shit from my wife. I couldn't do it.
whatever.
But are you
Don't be
wearing
blaming
pants,
on
George?
Kara. Kara will throw you under the bus and be like, take it off. Go ahead, George.
Nope.
Let's see.
Are you wearing pants, George? That's all I want to know.
Actually, you know what?
Off
I'm in,
his chair.
I'm in boxer shorts right now. I'm just chilling. I'm just in my boxer.
George is off his rocker.
Look at that thing.
Tammy's saying nothing's too strange for you, Christina. Well, yeah. Well, for the show, yeah, it's definitely nothing's too strange. So
Great.
unless
Next
you're
question.
hold on. Nope, hold on.
So how many Ouija boards do you have? Sir, you say you have a bunch of them. I mean,
1, 2, 3, 4.
that many.
7, 13, 14.
So why would you? I mean, seriously.
I just
know
saw a
back-
new one today that I want to get. That Stranger Things came out with a Ouija board. I want one.
Wow.
Well, it.
Look, I don't have nothing against Ouija boards. I just don't understand them, and I think it's because of Hollywood, because they make it sound like it's so evil and stuff. But like
Right.
he said, it's exactly what you bring. If you just go after
Exactly.
good energy, then you're going to be fine. You can bring grandma and grandpa out of it. But if it's
Do you
the
go into
ones,
the ocean?
no, I'm afraid of sharks. I am.
You know what your problem is? You gotta stay out of the movies.
No. I've seen There's big sharks with big teeth, and they just it's all gone. George gone. He gone. I don't like that sort of crap, man. It's not gonna happen.
They're attracted to the orange. That's what it
Well,
is.
the Ouija board collection started, God, a while ago. Someone gave us one. They wanted it out of their house.
Right.
And then a couple more came to us like that. A couple we found on different sites where they were listed. They're old.
They're older ones, so kind of like the older, like
And
the
we
70s,
also have a glow in the dark
69.
one.
Wow.
I mean, we got everything from very old to
To
very
very new.
recent. Some came to us in varying sizes and shapes, and
It's fun.
some came to us by people who were like, "I've thrown this out, I've burned it, and it keeps
Keep
returning."
coming back. Yeah, if I've heard this too.
Or weird shit happens, and so they're like, "Please get it out of here." So we
Right.
take it, and we throw it in the room with a haunted
George used
dolls.
to
and
surf, and
Yes.
a sea lion scared him, and that was the end of it.
Surfing.
Is that Carrot? That's wrong. Okay. Okay, you know what? Tara?
Dennis, I'll never let you live that one down.
Wait. Can we go to commercial real quick?
Scared by his
Can we- Wait a second. So
That opens a whole new door to memes right now.
Shit. I was surfing years ago at Steamer's Lane, and I used to surf all the time. And I was paddling out. I was waiting for a wave, and this stupid sea lion, no bigger than that big. Thanks a lot, Kara. He popped his head out, and I never went back.
Hi, Kara.
Go, you can say hi. Come up here.
I love it. Thank you so much for that one, Kara.
Thank you, Kara.
Yes,
Kara.
Guess what George is getting for Christmas?
exactly. See, he always terrorizes me and sends me all of these gifts and these memes of the sharks, great white sharks, and alligators. So now I'm going to have a comeback, and this will haunt him forever. Love it. Love it. All right, so we've got Anthony, and he is asking, and this is directed to you, Bill. What are your thoughts about all of the people popping up claiming to be, quotes in quotations, demonologists nowadays?
Did you bite
And
your lip?
Chris says that just her reaction says it all. But okay, we're gonna go
Oh
ahead.
no, she's just laughing
No,
at the,
I was
yeah.
laughing at that.
Well, there's a lot of people popping up claiming that they are demonologists, and that's great. you know,
Sorry, you don't gotta hold back. Say what you really feel.
it's the internet. I'm a French model. Oui, that's what I have to say.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. What is that?
Sea lion.
No, I mean there are a lot of demonologists out there, or people who are trained in that. The Warrens, excellent people. Tony Spurga, who's carrying the torch.
Right.
You have Jason Love out in Scotland. They've been trained in this, and it's something that they've been trained in. And a lot of people running around saying that they are demonologists because they read a book. There's a lot more to it than that.
Or
And if you want to work on the darker cases, I mean, by no means I'm not a demonologist. I guess I'm kind of stupid because I do some, we do some of the stuff that we do, but I do have a basket full of people that I'm trying to think of a nice word, and I'm trying not to swear, and I'm trying to be diplomatic here, but
Say whatever you like.
there's people that I could call on that I could get direction for, and people that I trust, and people that are very knowledgeable in the field, and that's their thing. Guys like James Anito. James is studying. That's what he's doing. He's studying it. There's people who spend years and years and years studying before they even work on a case. Right. So, it's sad to hear that there are people running around saying that, but, again, it's, there's people running around saying they're paranormal investigators because they have a black T-shirt and a web page.
True.
So,
true.
Fact. I totally believe that. That's you're absolutely right.
So we know that that happens all the time, but I agree. I think
it happens. You have to look at you have to look at the source. So.
Right. Well, I think though that it makes it hard too because you get in tandem. You get some paranormal teams that will claim that everything is demonic as well when it's not. And then they'll say, okay, well now I don't do demonic stuff, so you need to find a demonologist. So then they start going out and just researching anybody who says they're a demonologist. And again, for somebody who truly does have a demonic situation, bringing somebody in who doesn't know what they're doing could be a very, very, very bad decision because the consequences
it could even be a dark energy and just a malevolent 100%. Energy, and you could make things worse. Absolutely. And those who run in and don't know what right away everything's a demon. You're doing more if your intention is to go out, and this has nothing to do with demonology or demonologists, because there's a lot of demonologists that are out there or had over the years claimed to be demonologists. It's funny how that kind of have left their online persona anymore.
Look what Kara said.
Well, Kara says that they got their online certificate. That
for $9.95, you too could be a demonologist. Yeah.
They paid their $199.99.
There's more. For $99.95, you could also be a paranormal investigator.
And we'll send you a black
certified.
The add-on class.
Yes, anyone who wants a course or certificate in paranormal investigation.
See George.
just message one of us, send
I'll
us
print one up quickly.
$25, and we'll print you out a certificate.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
100.
But
Yeah.
we people go in and if they get into the paranormal and they want to help people, that's great. Mentor under somebody else.
100%.
Learn, ask questions. Do the public investigations first. Learn how things are done. Ask the important questions. Talk to people who are knowledgeable. Nobody is a professional in this business. Nobody. There are no
Exactly.
professionals. There are no experts. If they say
Exactly.
they are, run in the other fucking direction.
Exactly.
Some people may have more experience in the field than
Exactly.
others, but other than that, that's as far as it goes, because there's not anybody in this field. I don't care who classifies themselves as
I
what.
agree,
There's
Rebecca.
nobody that can say that they know everything about this field, because I could throw some
Exactly.
questions at them right now that they wouldn't be able to give me a tangible answer, about. So yeah, I agree. A lot of people have experience, and different people have more experience than others. But again,
But if you go
that
into
doesn't
a
even mean
private
anything anymore.
But if you go into a private home, private residence, and people, because of like George, think of George, okay, and his fear of the Ouija board, okay, and he, people have in their home feel that something is going on and it's negative, okay, they feel it, okay, so what did we run in? Because what we see on TV and in the movies is it's a demon,
Right.
Right.
True. Right.
So you go in and these people have kids.
Right.
Now the kids are scared. You're scarring this family. You're ruining, and it's nothing.
Right.
It's freaking Patrick Swayze trying to move a penny on the table.
You're right.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
Absolutely. Rebecca says there are some people and teams that need to be called out for doing unethical things while at paranormal locations, causing issues for the locations after they leave. Hey, well, you've come to the right show. We do those about like what, George, once a month, I think.
Once
at
a
this
month.
point.
Yep. Yep.
There's always something that's come. Just stick around for the schedule. I'm sure that will be one of the topics for next month. There's always something.
Exactly, Rebecca. No, and that was like that video that Adam posted about the damage that was done.
Oh,
Those people were
God,
out on
yeah.
investigation.
Yeah.
Post that shit. You know who they are. Post that shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, say you
That's
got
like,
that. You have information. Send it to us. We'll be. We are known. I've been doing the show for a long time, and we are now known for not being afraid to put these people on blast. Because I really have a problem, with that. It's like it is just so disrespectful.
Full of...
There is a difference between calling. You have to be careful when calling someone out. Even if you know in your heart there's something wrong, you have to be sure that if you're going to call them out publicly, and this goes for everyone, make sure you have solid evidence.
Oh, 100%. You can't put
back it
anything. You can't put anything,
Because
especially not on radio.
Right.
It's crazy the shit that people will say because they're
mad.
Or they're mad that they didn't get to be on your team.
And again, just be true to you.
Absolutely.
Be true to you. Do the right thing. Keep
Don't
doing
trespass.
it. Don't trespass.
Don't
be
steal.
respectful. Don't steal. I mean, there's so many people that go in, steal from these historic locations. Cause trouble at these places. Go in and bring objects to locations that have no reasons for them to be there. That's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. And
it's getting worse. We would think that, as time would go on, that people would, not do it. But the situation is getting worse. And we're seeing a lot more with the trespassing and breaking into locations so that they can videotape it. I'm thinking, what a bunch of dummies, because these are the same people that are breaking into these locations are live streaming it.
Yeah, I love it when they do that. And that's the best part, is because the ones who are trespassing and destroying property and stealing, and with social media, you know what? They're showing their true colors. And most of the time, we don't need to do shit because they're going to out themselves.
Absolutely. Right. Rebecca says there's a team that built a devil's box in a closet that has had major activity in a popular location, and they did a live feed. Yeah, exactly. I've seen it happen multiple times, and people brag about, or film themselves breaking into these locations, and they think that just because they're not stealing anything in there, that they're not going to get in
You're still
trouble for just
trespassing.
taking a look. But trespassing is just as much of a crime as anything else. So again, people don't do that just for some fame. I've never really had a problem where if you do enough research to be able to, and you really want to go into a location, if you can find the right connections, you can get in there and you can get
Absolutely.
access, that
It
other
may
people
take
don't
some
get.
time and it may take some work
That's right.
and some research and some history and communication with people face to face,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
it
Absolutely.
may
But that's
take.
the way you got to do it. And if you can't do it that way and people say you just can't go in, you just can't go in. I mean, it's not
Right.
worth the risk. And again, your reputation is everything in this field. So you go out and you're trespassing and you're doing stuff like that. Other teams and people aren't going to want to work with you or investigate with you because they're not sure you're the wild card, and they don't want,
Right.
if they're following the rules, they're not going to want to deal with that. So that's a
Right.
big thing. So for people wanting to contact you, maybe they want to come to one of your events, maybe they have a question, maybe they just need a joke of the day, where do they call, or where do they get a hold of you guys?
1-800-Ghostbusters. Now,
There you go.
Reap Investigations. ReapInvestigations.com, Facebook, Reap Investigations Events. Any one of our team members on Facebook.
Tina, Paul, Marcy, Steven, me, Chris. We all have Facebook pages. We all have, the you can reach us there. You can reach us through Reap Investigations.
Any one of our names at reapinvestigations.com.
And you have, let's see, Reap Investigations events and, Paranormal Collaboration Radio and blah, 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 blah. You can find us everywhere. Who knows? We may be in your city someday. We've been known to just show up places.
Yeah.
Well, I think you guys should just come and just show up here in California.
Yes, please hurry up.
Hey, you never know.
You never know. What the next year holds, you never know.
Hey, well, I am in the Napa Valley, and I run the Motel 6 out here, so the door's always open. It's got a room and some wine tasting. We can do some spirits and spirits.
Nice.
Okay.
He's okay.
Drink, but
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I don't drink wine, but you can take pictures with some grapes like everybody else does.
There you go. Yeah, here. This is me with grapes.
Exactly.
I can feed Chris grapes.
Exactly. Put a twist on it.
And chocolate.
There you go.
But really, thank you for having us on here.
Yes,
This was a
thank you so
blast.
much. It's been great.
You were brutal. I mean, God, riveting questions.
Oh, we try here, but I do want to thank you guys for coming on. It's been a lot of fun tonight, and again, look forward to.
Yeah, whoa! Yes, Rebecca, I am waiting for that exciting new research that you got on the Bel Air house. Please message me with it.
Absolutely.
I want to know. There's like connect the dots here going on, and you and Kristen Lee have been teasing for 2 days. I want to see it. I'm excited.
Come on, Rebecca, get that information over there. Easy. They're just waiting.
Can't wait to be there in October.
Thanks so much. We'll look forward to seeing you guys when you're out here next year. George and I will try to see what we can put together to come out and visit the two of you. You guys need to come and visit us. We just need to have a whole lot of visiting going on.
Well, the next year is going to be interesting, so no idea where we may show up.
That's
awesome.
The fun part of it, though. It's go wherever it takes you.
And we did just yesterday announce Stephen Ty joining our team.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yes, Stephen Ty has joined our team.
Steve has worked with us over the years, and
we're very excited to have him officially part of the team now.
Yeah, it's nice when they officially come on board. So before, it's just kind of like hit and miss when they can.
Exactly.
It's nice to have them full time. Perfect. All right, guys. Well, thank you so very much for joining us. You always are welcome to come back. If you ever have anything you want to promote, just let us know, and we will Set
Thank
it
you
up.
so much.
All right.
This was great.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Well,
Don't
all right,
make me pull
everybody.
on that
You have
baby
been
seal
listening.
again.
You have been listening to Paranormal Connections on the UPRN Talk Radio Network, 107.7 out of New Orleans. Have a great week, everyone. And George and I will see you back on Thursday for Top Secret News Radio Show. All right, everyone. Have a great time. We'll see you next week.
Good night, you guys.
Good night, everyone. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Good night.